Good morning students, myself Jyoti Rathore, and today we are here to continue our video of civics second chapter and of class 9th. Clear? So let me continue my video. See children, in my last topic, in my last video, I already started the chapter and I even explained you about the constitution of South Africa. And as that time also I told you, again I am reminding you that this is not the topic to be going to very deep. Clear? This is just for your better understanding, because before that only we have adopted our constitution. This incidents happen in South Africa. These South African people, they have already faced, and afterwards only we we Indians only accepted this. Clear? So we have to go through our constitution, that is Indian constitution in detail, not the South African in detail. Clear? So this I am telling you. First I already explained you the meaning of apartheid. This means that on the basis of color, discrimination was going on in the country, and that was a major problem of the South African people. Clear? Then this also, why they accepted this new constitution, what were the things, why this type of constitution, again they have to think about. Clear? And then this also. Okay. Now our today's topic, that is Indian constitution, this we have to go into detail. Everything we have to study very deeply. Okay. So children, this is all about our Indian constitution. Constitution of India, list of all the articles. We have nearly 395 articles in our constitution. Okay. Article, like some clauses are written over there. Clear? Like for particular right, this clause is there. For particular thing, this clause is there. So number of articles are written in our constitution, and this is in part 1 to 22. Okay. Now, making of the Indian constitution. See children, India's constitution was drawn up under very difficult circumstances. When we people got independence, that time you all know very well, that was a hard time, that was the toughest time for India. Okay. During that time period only we have written our constitution, then we have adopted the norms of constitution, but the time was very difficult, because before that we had really faced a harsh time. When these whitish people, when these Britishers, they were ruling upon us, that was the toughest time for India. So the country was born through a partition on the basis of religious differences. One reason was there that our country, we got our India after this partition. Okay, partition from India towards Pakistan. Okay, India and Pakistan was divided. Before that, when these Britishers, they were ruling over us, that time our country and Pakistan, that was a same country. Okay, but as they went through, they went from our country. That time they did this partition, and after this partition only we got this independence. Okay. So this religious bases were there, religious differences were there, on the basis of that only we got our independence. Then the British had left it to the rulers of princely state to decide whether they wanted to merge with India or with Pakistan or remain independent. See, three things are there. Clear? They wanted to be independent, they wanted to be merged themselves with Pakistan, either they wanted to be merged there with India only. Okay. This princely state, I don't think so the term is new for you, but let me explain. Princely state ka meaning hai, like many of the prince and the princes, they were ruling over different areas, different states. Okay. Like Rani of Jhansi was there, Nawabs were there. Clear? In some part, like in Jammu and Kashmir also, some other rulers, they were ruling. In Rajasthan, Rajput rulers, they were ruling. So what happened, these Britishers, they inform all these prince and the princes that you want to involve either with Pakistan or with India, or you wanted to be free, you wanted to be independent here. You people yourself have to decide this kind of things. Okay. So this is called as princely states, the states which are ruled by some prince or princess. So those states, they have to involve themselves with either this one, that one, or remain independent. And then the merger of these princely states was a difficult and uncertain task. Definitely, like one prince is ruling over one particular state and the government is telling that you have to be merged either with India, that is to be beneficial for you, or you just go along with Pakistan, that would be beneficial for you. If you remain independent, then lots of struggle you have to face. So all these situation will create panic among prince and princess also. Okay, so definitely this task would be a very difficult task. And then what happened when the constitution was being written, the future of the country did not look as secure as it does today. So that time whatever decisions were taken by these decision makers, that was the toughest decision which they had taken. Okay, and because that time situation was totally different. Nowadays everything will be okay. If government is telling something with little aggression, people are ready to accept it. But that time they were accepting, but with lots of confusion, with lots of repression, with lots of circumstances. All these things were mixed together. Understood? So definitely this is all about our Indian constitution. Now the path of the constitution. One of the major advantages for the makers of Indian constitution was that they were conscious about what a democratic India should look like, had already involved during the freedom struggle. Okay, they want a new kind of India, and that was a major problem for all the constitution maker, because during struggle time they had already faced number of crises, number of problem. But after all those problems, when India was free, definitely on the basis of constitution, they want something good to be there. Okay, and then 1928, Motilal Nehru and 8 other involved, 1928, Motilal Nehru and 8 other Congress leaders drafted a constitution for India, and 1931, the resolution at the Karachi session of Indian National Congress dwelt on how independent Indian constitution should look like. So 1928, all the Congress leader. Nowadays Congress I am not talking about, that time during that whole period, one party was there and that was Congress. All the major leaders, all the major Indian political leaders, those who are directly involved under this politics, they were the part of this Congress. So 1928, Mr. Motilal Nehru, he was the major leader of that group, and some 8 members of this Congress committee only. They had drafted a constitution. Okay, they make a constitution for India. But then what happened? 1931, the resolution at Karachi session of the Indian National Congress dwelt on how independent India's constitution should look like. Okay, 1931, some resolutions were there. Again they have to think, when our India got freedom, okay, that time what kind of constitution would be there. Now children, universal adult franchise, right of freedom and equality to protect the right of minority in the constitution of independent India. That time when we got independence in our India, the major problem were these things. Okay, first one was universal adult franchise. This you all know, at the age of 18, people got right to vote. That is called as universal adult franchise. That time we were not having this. Okay, then right to freedom. We were not counted as free. Okay, we were simply the labor of these Britishers. But afterwards, when we were free in 1947, till that time people are thinking that right to freedom must be there in our constitution. Then equality. Okay, people should be equal on the basis of religion, on the basis of this money matter, on the basis of any other thing. People should be equally treated. And then protect the right of minority in the constitution. Minority, we are talking about the backward classes. Okay, because that time the society was divided into 4 parts. Okay, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. These Brahman and Kshatriyas, they are counted as a supreme community of the society. Okay, even the Shudra, Vaishya also, clear, merchant people, they are also very supreme one. But the 4th one, that is we are talking about the Shudras, they were counted as an exceptional part of the society. Okay, people were not directly accepting them. This is just because their work was totally different. They were simply doing the sweeping, cleaning, such kind of work they are involved, and on the basis of that only people are thinking that these people are very low. Okay, So as they are very low, they are not the part of our community. We simply don't even involve them into our community. Okay, they had separate wells, they had a separate place to live in the villages also. Clear? Even their schools were different. If their children are studying along with the rest of the children, so they are supposed to sit at the last bench, or they are supposed to sit on the floor. Clear? Sweeping only they should do. They won't touch the pots. Such kind of things are there in the society. So basically for those people some protection would be needed, and if those things are included in our constitution, then nobody should say no for that. Okay. So the leaders are thinking that these things must be there in our constitution when it is written. And then these basic values were accepted by all the leaders. Okay. So all the Congress leaders, they were readily accepting that we want such things. Now the Constitution Assembly met to deliberate on the Constitution. This is why Indian Constitution adopted many institutional detail and procedure from colonial laws like the Government of India Act 1935. Now see, these Britishers, they are already ruling upon us. During that time, whatever things we had faced, like this act was there, 1935 act was there. With that act also number of things are included in our constitution. So with long explanation, with the lengthy procedure, afterwards only we have accepted our constitution. Many of our leaders were inspired by the ideas of French Revolution. Okay, in our chapter first of history, I already explained you this whole French Revolution, which is counted as the first revolution of the world. Okay, that time our India was not at all free from these clutches of Britishers. But during this time when we were making our constitution, that time we are free. So we have to think about that revolution also. That time how these French society people, how the common people of France, they struggled a lot, and afterwards only with the help of this revolution, they were free from this high class bogies people. Okay. Now the practice of the parliamentary democracy in Britain and the Bill of Rights in US. With the help of this French Revolution also, number of things we have learned. With the practice of parliamentary democracy in Britain, the people, those who are ruling upon us, how they are ruling in Britain. So with that parliamentary procedure also, number of things we have learned. Okay, like how our procedure would be there. Those things we have learned from Britain also, and even from US also, Bill of Rights. Okay. So like number of things we have adopted from rest part of the world that we included in our constitution. So all these things are there. Okay. Now the Constituent Assembly. The drafting of the constitution was done by an assembly of elected representative called the Constitutional Assembly. See children, now this part of your things are very important for you, and you have to by heart many of the things. Now, first thing, that what kind of Constituent Assembly was there? The drafting of the constitution was done by an assembly of elected representative called Constituent Assembly. The assembly which was there, they had drafted the things, and that would be counted as the Constituent Assembly. Elections to the Constituent Assembly were held in July 1946. Okay. To make the constitution, they have to done this this thing also, they have to done this election also. That election in the year 1946 it was held, July 1946. Now the first meeting was held in December 1946. Okay, July they had already drafted. Now when this December comes, they have to like first meeting they had held. After this, the country was divided into India and Pakistan, and the Constituent Assembly was also divided into Constituent Assembly of India and that of Pakistan. But during 1947 we had seen, see 46 they already constituent, they already drafted it. But suddenly what happened, 47 we had seen this partition. That time country was together, but now country is divided into two parts. So those two parts, they have their particular Constituent Assembly. One is that of India, another one that is of Pakistan. The Constituent Assembly that wrote the Indian Constitution had 299 members. Okay, total members are there 299. Again I am remembering you children, number of things are there, number of dates as well as incidences that you have to by heart. So total members were 299 members. The assembly adopted the constitution on 26th November 1949. Okay. So finally this assembly, they have adopted the constitution in the year 1949 and the date was 26th of November. Okay. And then, but it came into effect on 26th of January 1950, and I think so this 26th January we all know. Okay. So this is a great day for our India. Finally 26th January 1950 we have adopted that constitution and that constitution came into effect. To mark this day, we celebrate January 26 as Republic Day every year. Okay, a great day, a historic day in the history of India. Clear? Now, why should we accept the constitution made by this assembly more than 6 decades ago? See, some questions are there. When we have adopted, when we have drafted and adopted the constitution, number of questions are aroused in our mind. The first question, why should we accept the constitution made by this assembly more than 6 decades ago? Very basic question. Okay. Then, the constitution does not reflect the views of its member alone. It expresses a broad conscience of its time. Okay. Second thing that is there in our mind is this one. And the next thing, the next reason for accepting the constitution is that the Constituent Assembly represents the people of India. See, some of the things are there which we have to ask ourselves that why we have adopted this constitution. Clear? First one, the constitution does not reflect the views of its members alone. Okay, like it is written there 299 members are there. So this is not the thinking of those 299 members. This is the thinking of many crore people, those who are living in India during that time. Okay, whatever treatment prevailed during that particular time, so they had witnessed all those incidences, all those problems. Afterwards only they are thinking. So this is not the thinking of those 299 people, this is thinking of altogether India. Okay, ideology of Indians, and it expresses a broad consciousness of its time. Definitely that time, like 1949 and 50s time, broad thinking of that particular time. The second reason for accepting the constitution is that the Constituent Assembly represented the people of India. Okay, this term people of India, no? It means that altogether we all are the people of India. So the representation of everyone's, every individual, every citizen. Clear? Now, some basic principles were decided and agreed upon. Okay, like I was telling you about this adult franchise, equality, freedom, then thinking about minority group. These are all the ideas and the principle. During that time, those ideas were there in our the mind of our constitution maker. They were thinking on that, and then they all had decided and they all were agreed upon it. Then a drafting committee chaired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar prepared a drafting constitution for discussion. Definitely when committee was there, one member should be there which was supposed to be the chairperson. Okay, and that chairman was great person, that is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. I think this Ambedkar's name all of you have heard. He was the person, he was the responsible person. With the help of that great person only we had our constitution. Okay. Now, several rounds of thorough discussion took place on the draft constitution clause by clause. Okay, it is not like that constitution was there in front of all 299 members and they all were agreed yes, yes, yes. It was not like that. Number of discussion, you know, all the clause were read. Then after that discussion was there, people were giving their own thinking that what should be the thinking of rest of the people on the basis of that particular clause. So with that huge discussion, with that lengthy discussion, we had formed our constitution. So more than 2000 amendments were considered. Now you see, amendments in the sense like the thinking of those people that was there. So nearly 2000 amendments were there. Every document was presented and every word spoken in the Constituent Assembly has been recorded and preserved. See, that huge constitution, that lengthy constitution was read, no? And word to word the reading was going on in the assembly. Those words were recorded and all those records were preserved. Clear? Like you said something, you have written something, it is not the way. You even, the words are there in the speaking form also, and all the things are preserved in the form of these audios. Okay? Now, this is called as Constituent Assembly debates. Nowadays also, like in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, you have seen number of debates are going on, and those debates are for what? Like some laws are there, no? Some predicted laws would be there, that law would come in the assembly, no? In the Lok Sabha also, Rajya Sabha also, it has come. So what the reader supposed to do? They have to read it out. Then number of discussions are there from the for party and from the against party. Then after that discussion, after those debates, whatever things are needed, those things are to be written. Then afterward for next procedure it is sent. In the same way, here for the constitution also, they did the same thing. And afterwards only the constitution was accepted. Now the guiding values of Indian constitution. See, some of the points, clauses are there according to our constitution. First one is the guiding values of Indian constitution. Understand the overall philosophy of what our constitution is all about. Read the views of some of our major leaders on our constitution and read what the constitution says about own philosophy. This is what the preamble of constitution does. Clear? First thing. Then next one, the dream and the promise. There were many members who followed the vision of Mahatma Gandhi. This is the dream of that has eliminated inequality, was shared by Dr. Ambedkar, who play a key role in making of constitution. But his vision of removing inequality from India was different from Gandhi ji. Okay, like during the time when Gandhi ji, he came to India, like this 1915 great incidents you all know. Now he was traveling, he was in South Africa and he was traveling in train. That time, you know what happened with him? He got the ticket of first class, but he as an Indian, as a black people, he's supposed to sit on third class. Because that time this white and black racism was going on. Clear? So the people, those ticket checker, that person came into the compartment and he said, you are the black one, you're supposed to go and sit in the third compartment. No? But he said, no sir, I have the ticket of first one, so I supposed to sit here, this is my right. Then they were beating him and they said that you are talking about your right, you don't have any right, you black people just get lost. Okay, and they just throw him out from the train. Afterwards, when he was there on the platform, he is thinking that what it is. I have the ticket but I don't have the right to sit in the train. So I have to do something. And he said this thing that you whitish people, you send me out from the compartment and I will send you out from my nation. So that incident was there. That ideology was Indian, that Gandhiji's ideology. But Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he himself belonged to this SC caste. So he is thinking about the, the rights of those people, the minority people. He was thinking that some of the rights we people also got. No? We know all the things, like we are very much sure about the things. So why we are not getting the rights? Okay? Why we are not the part of this society? Why we are sitting separate? Why we are not using the temple of others? Why we are living in village in that type of area? All the questions were there in the mind of Ambedkar. Okay? So that ideology was different and Gandhiji's ideology was different, but they are on the same path. Now, the philosophy of the constitution, values that inspire and guide the freedom struggle and were in turn nurtured by it, form the foundation for India's democracy. Given below are the values embedded in the preamble of our constitution. See, before reading the constitution, we have preamble of our constitution also. Okay? इसको हिंदी में हम constitution की आत्मा भी बोलते हैं. All the things are written in that preamble. Clear? All the things are mentioned over there. See, this is the first page of our constitution. Okay? And the beginning line, this begins with we the people of India. Okay? We the people means we all, 1,000 crores people. Those who were there during that time, they all had a promise, and this is the promise. Clear? And most of the words are highlighted here. All these words meaning you should know. See, first thing, we the people of India, the constitution has been drawn up and enacted by the people through their representative and not handed down them to be any king or any outside powers. Okay? Because as I am telling you, we were the part of Britain. British people, they were ruling over us. That means the Queen was ruling over us. But now we said, this constitution maker, in their first line, it is written that we the people of India. Means we all together the people of India. Nobody should rule over us, no queen or no outside power. Okay. Now, sovereign. People have the supreme right to make decision on internal as well as external matter. No external power can dictate the government of India. In the Act of 1935, previously also the things were mentioned. It was there that India is there, but Britain has to rule over us. Clear? Government is there from India, but who's supposed to rule? The outside people. Okay? But now we had a promise. Clear? We the people of India, we have to make our own rule, and on the basis of those rule only, nobody should dictate us, we can rule ourselves, we can govern ourselves. Leaders are from us only, okay, rest of the people are from us only. Then, socialist. Wealth is generated socially and should be shared equally by society. Wealth means money, okay. So, it should be shared equally by the society. The government should regulate the ownership of land and industry to reduce socio-economic inequalities, okay. Some people, basically we are talking about this land and industry, okay. That should be under government policy. Government should decide that this particular land area should be used by this person, this particular industry should be used by this owner, in the basis of that only, and that government should do. Why? Because they just want to reduce the socio-economic inequalities. Now, secular. Citizens have complete freedom to follow any religion. See, major problem of our India, that is religion. On the basis of that only, India and Pakistan was divided. We had seen that harsh time also. Okay, when our India was separated from Pakistan, and the reason, that silly reason only was religion. Okay, the Pakistanis, they were thinking that we are Muslim, we just want our own country, and the Indians, they were thinking we are the Hindus, we want our own country. And these cunning people, these Britishers, they simply pick that point only. Okay, they want to reduce the power of Hindustan. That is why they had divided our country from Pakistan. But this secular term we have added, that on the basis of religion, all the people are equal. Either we belong to any Hindu community or Muslim or Christian or Sikh, but we all are equal, and we all are Indian first. Clear? Other than this Hindu, Muslim and all the things. Okay. Now, but there is no official religion. Official religion, like in the term, people are thinking Hindustan that belongs to Hindus. This is not like that. Clear? There is no official religion. Now, the government treat all the religious belief and the practice with equal respect. And in front of government, everybody should be equal. Either the person is Hindu or the person is Muslim. But in front of government, all are equally treated. Then democratic. The next term which is added here is democratic. A form of government where people enjoy equal political right, elect their leaders and hold them accountable. The government is run according to same basic rule. Okay. Democratic, like in our first chapter, we had seen this democracy in detail. We all are democratic. In Hindi I said Prajatantrik. Okay. Now, republic. The head of the state is an elected person and not a hereditary position. Okay. Head of the state, we can say we are talking about the CM. Okay. Then we are talking about the PM. They are supposed to be the head. So those people, they are not from any hereditary position. Okay. People are thinking like previously that leader was there, definitely his son would be the next ruler. Not on that basis. Okay. Elections would be there, fair elections would be there, and the contesting person, those who had won that election, that only would be our leader. Justice. Citizens cannot be discriminated against on the ground of caste, religion and gender. Okay, equal justice would be there. And for that we had courts also, jurisdiction also. Clear? Now on the basis of that we are telling, not on the grounds of any caste, any religion or any gender, people are separated. Social inequalities have to be reduced, okay. Social equality, children, in the sense like the minority group people would be counted as like you are the superior one, you are the inferior one, because you belong to that particular community, you are very supreme, you belong to that community, you are very inferior, not like that. The government should work for the welfare of all the people and especially the disadvantaged group. Again, disadvantaged group, I am talking about STs, SCs and the OBCs. They are counted as a disadvantaged group of the society, because during that whole particular period, they had faced lots of discrimination. Now government is giving them some basic things, basic needs, okay. Reservation would be there. So on the basis of all those things, whatever happening during that particular time, they had got this thing. Liberty. There is no unreasonable restriction on the citizen in what they think and how they wish to express their thought and the way they wish to follow up their thoughts in action, okay. Liberty would be there. Liberty in the sense freeness, okay. Everybody is free. They are free to express their thought. They are free to do any kind of business. They are free to live anywhere. That kind of liberty would prevail in the society. And then equality, all are equal before the law. In front of law, everybody is equal. Like government must see all the people with equal eyes. The traditional social inequalities have to be ended. Okay, traditional social inequality, again we are talking about on the basis of caste, like people are unequal. So that should be totally ended. The government should ensure equal opportunity for everyone, okay. And from government policy, all the policies are there for everyone and everybody can enjoy those policies, okay. And then next term is fraternity. All of us should behave as we are the member of the same family, clear? Member of the same family, like we are living in India, so everybody should think first that we are Indian. Moreover, that we are like we are the richest person of the society, but we don't have to think like that. First we have to think that I am the member of this country, I am the person of this country, and nobody should treat a fellow citizen as inferior, okay. Nobody should treat the next person as the inferior one, okay. Like I am very rich, so rest of the people, those who are poor, I don't say that they are the poor, okay, let us leave them, not like that, okay. Because we are the people of this country, first we have to think we are Indian, don't think we are very much supreme. See children, these points, all these points you have to by heart. Any of the point in your 1 mark question, it would be asked. What this is sovereign, what is the secular, republic, liberty, fraternity, these terms are asked again and again in your papers also, okay. Because we are talking about our constitution, all the things are clearly mentioned in our constitution. So you must remember, you just revise it one by one. Institutional design. A constitution is not merely a statement of values and philosophy, it is mainly about embodying these values into institutional agreements. See, as I am telling you, number of clauses are there, nearly 365 clauses are there in our constitution, but these clauses are not only like it is written, it is spoken, not in that way. All the things are there because people should follow it, okay. In the institutional frame, in that arrangement, all the things are to be set. It is a very long and detailed document, therefore it need to be amended quite regularly to keep it updated. No? They have to update, clear? Like nowadays you people are using Google, so that Google also you have to update because new things are coming there also, okay. So everything we have to update. Once constitution was written, but it should be amended again and again. Now, provisions are made to incorporate changes known as constitutional amendment from time to time. It is not very harsh, like once the things are written, nobody should change it. It is not like that. When some changes come according to the time, according to the situation, these people, these constitution makers, they have to change it, they have to rethink about it, and if some changes are needed, they have to keep those changes also. Now, it defines who will how much power to make which decision. Like any constitution, the Indian constitution also lays down a procedure for choosing person to govern the country. Okay, like the person, the prime minister, if we are going to choose. This is one thing, one procedure that is going on for the country. It defines who will how much power to make which decision, and on the basis of that only powers are distributed. Like PM, he is having number of powers. The rest of the leaders, they are also having powers. Okay, when we are talking about CMs, okay, different state CM, on the basis of their state, they are having power. Their leaders, their elected person, they are also having powers. So powers are equally divided also, and this is there in our constitution, that who is having how much power, how the person has to use its power. Clear? Not like the PM should say, I am the PM of the country, I can do anything in the country, not like that. He is also imbibed with the constitutional laws, and on the basis of that laws only he has to run the country. And it put the limit to what the government can do by providing some right to the citizen that cannot be violated. Okay. In my first chapter also, children, I told you laws are there. Laws are there for the country people, but all those laws would not be violated by country people. If they are doing so, definitely they are in the jail. They are the culprits and they must be in the jail. Okay. Like people have the right to do rallies, but people don't have to during that rally time, they can harm anybody. Okay. That would be against the law. Clear all of you? So children, this is our last topic, this institutional design. Okay. Now children, this whole chapter is very important also, very lengthy also. You just have to go this whole chapter like on the basis of your own thinking. You can create your own lesson and just plan your own lesson. Okay. So till my next video, we have to start our next book, that is Economics chapter 2nd. So till then, goodbye and best of luck all of you.